area where you just heard authorities say they believe that initially, at least, he had fled to a neighborhood around there. How difficult would it have been, or will it be, for him to escape the area entirely?
It wouldn't be difficult at all, unfortunately, Aaron, because you have a major interstate highway that travels right through there, right through Orem, through Provo, up to Salt Lake City, and down south into Las Vegas and California. And Interstate 15 is very easy to access from that area. He could have had a vehicle staged or someone waiting for him. There's also a large, very rugged mountain terrain just to the east of there, and then large body of water. I think it's Provo Bay that's right there. And he could have escaped by boat, a rowboat, a canoe, anything. So he had a lot of avenues of escape, and obviously he planned how he was getting in there, and I'm sure he had a plan for how he was going to get out of there. So it makes it difficult, but not impossible for authorities to find him.
Right. And Casey, as a profiler, from what you've been able to gather so far about the suspect, including the images that we have, right? It's all that we have at this point. What do you think the suspect is doing right now? And how dangerous could he be, given, of course, that there has been some, a weapon recovered?
Well, he's on the lam, and no matter what the motive was, there's a political aspect to it. And whether or not he had a very clear escape plan, it seems clear, because 30 hours later, we still don't have him. But the clothing that he's wearing that we see in that photograph, I would argue that this is most likely a red herring, a contraindicator, and that American flag and the bald eagle. This is to make him blend into the crowd so that he can get into the crowd. And it looks like he has his tactical vest on under that shirt. So had an escape plan, had a backpack in the woods where he dumped the gun, because even with a trench coat, you can't get very far with a gun under it without people noticing. So the plan was very, very carefully thought out. And the escape plan will be too. I think the greater question is, what will he do next? Because sometimes people just plan on doing one specific mission-oriented, rid the world of this particular person assassination. But once they're on the lam, they get desperate. They might kill somebody to get a getaway car. They sometimes don't have a plan beyond a day or two. And if the manhunt continues, if we don't get him soon, that could really become a very dangerous scenario for the public at large.
Yeah, and Ed, here's the thing. It obviously was planned and premeditated in many ways. And yet they've got really good video of him. It looks that way to us, right? If that was somebody you knew, you would know who it was. They have markings on ammunition. They have a rifle. They have a lot for somebody who did a good job planning. Obviously, they don't have him yet. But how significant is this amount of evidence, Ed?
Well, there's almost an embarrassment of evidence here. And you're right. He planned this, no question about it. But he left an enormous amount of leads for the police to follow up on. And so sometimes you wonder if the motivation is to get caught so that he can make public statements about what his positions are. It's hard to understand what they're thinking. He certainly got away, but that's not the most complicated thing in the world. If he had staged a car, he's out of there very quickly. And it takes a couple of days to run somebody down, even if you know who they are. But I'm really surprised at the level of evidence that was left there, and the ability of the police to be able to put a case together on this guy.
Yeah, if remember, Tim, if you think back to Luigi Mangione, right, found because someone who worked at McDonald's, I believe it was a McDonald's, recognized him from the, and made the call, right, in Pennsylvania, so another state. So it had gotten pretty far. We have no idea where this individual is, but they did talk about these rapid developments earlier and then silence. Having been in the center of these things, Tim, what do you think that means?
I think that means they're zeroing in on a geographic location where they believe he might be. They don't want to give up that geographic location to the public, because then it might alert him or alert others that would support him. Sadly, after Charlie's killing yesterday, thousands of people took to the internet to support the killing. And so who knows what number of people might be in that immediate vicinity that would support him, like Eric Rudolph when he was hiding in the mountains of North Carolina and he had a little bit of a support base. This guy, unfortunately, has a very large support base. It's very sad to think of. So not alerting the public in this case may be very helpful to law enforcement to be able to close that dragnet and bring this suspect into custody, hopefully before the day is out.
And Casey, do you think we'll hear from him? I guess it depends how he chooses to go. Right? Obviously he could There could be a firefight. He could kill himself. We don't know, right? We don't know. But what can you discern about him?
Well, more than half of your shooters that are mission-oriented will kill themselves or do suicide by cop. But a lot of them do want to stick around. I mean, we have the shooter from the Minnesota politicians, lawmakers assassinations. We have Luigi Mangione. And I mean, the bottom line is, don't take whatever's written on that rifle at face value. These could all be contraindicators, red herrings, and there could be something just intrinsically personal to this particular shooter. Maybe with that one shot, he was trying to prove that he was sniper worthy. Maybe he got passed over for a position in law enforcement or in the military, didn't make the SWAT team. You never know until we catch them. So conjecture at this point is a little bit dangerous. I know we'll catch him. And at that time, I hope he'll talk, because we can learn a lot about that motive if and when he does.
Thank you all three very much. I appreciate you. Next, I'm going to talk to a man who asked the first question to Charlie Kirk at the Utah event just moments before Kirk was shot. He asked that first question. And young